Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here on Vivo Garage. It has been a while since I posted anything, and it's because I've just been really busy with work stuff, so I do apologize for that. I do have a video I'm supposed to get out about the cost breakdown on how much the goat ski costed, and I am working on it. I have tried to do some filming for different footage and stuff, and I just haven't been happy with it myself, so unfortunately I don't have that video ready, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this one here done on the yellow one. We've nicknamed it the ACR, and ACR stands for asshole crotch rocket, because that's what the thing is. It is that. It is super quick, nimble, and all that, but not as of lately, because we've been having some issues with it getting top-end power. And everything I've looked at indicates that it's a problem within the fuel line. So what I'm going to do today is replace all the fuel lines in this. I'm going to take the carburetors off, clean them up, and all that. The only thing I'm not going to do is replace the fuel filter. I'm going to try and clean it, as well as clean the carburetors themselves, but we're going to replace all the fuel lines because this does have those old nasty gray fuel lines, which are probably original to the ski, which now is 24 plus years old. So it's a known issue with these Seadoos with those gray fuel lines. They just kind of get all jellied up and it causes issues. So hopefully we're going to get that to fix our issue of not having enough power. So we'll get going on that. Stay tuned. So as you can see, like I mentioned, we have the gray fuel lines. These are a big problem with these skis and cause a lot of issues. Everybody that I've read in forum groups and stuff like that says if you have these, do yourself a favor and get them out, swapped out as soon as you can. It's just going to give you issues. So it's a little bit of a wiring routing mess, and so we're going to do it in a couple of different phases. Some stuff I said is just do one for one. Pull the hose out, measure how much you need, put the new hose in, swap them out one for one. And that goes down here. You can see it here. These go down, and that feeds the carburetor, and it also feeds the return line. We do have the fuel filter. See if I can't get that shown. We do have the fuel filter right there. We're going to take out and just clean it as well. We've got the fuel lines right here that we're going to replace and all that. But I'm going to take this off here so I can get access to the carburetors. Take this off here so we can get access to the carburetors and hopefully avoid taking the exhaust manifold off. I'd rather not, but we'll see how it goes. So I got the cover for the air filter off. It's got these slide clamps all the way around, and the back ones here are a little tougher to get to. Once you get them undone, then you can just lift the whole assembly here off, and then you can get access into here. So I've got to figure out how to unbolt this thing from the carburetors. I can see some screws down in here, so let's keep plugging around, see if we can't figure out. Once I get it, I'll let you guys know as well. All right, we got it off. Inside this thing here, we had 6 bolts that were holding this down. Once I got those undone, let's just lift it off. And then in here was that metal air filter that we saw, so I got that out. And now we have a little bit better accessibility, so it looks like we've got some more bolts down in here. Feels like I got one right there. That's the one I could reference here. And I apologize if the camera footage is a little shaky. I don't have my gimbal because it's a little tough to do in this area with it. So yeah, it looks like I've just got 4 bolts holding it in here, and then this bracket, and I don't feel anything underneath, which I wouldn't expect. So we'll continue to work this thing, unbolt it and get it out, and we'll get access to these carbs. Okay, got that bracket off here, and then the holder thing. So we've exposed the carbs, and it doesn't look like it's too difficult. More just the linkage. I'm going to take them off in the same because I don't know if I want to disconnect the linkage per se, or I'll need to get a better look at that. But they look like they're in sync and definitely don't want to mess with that. So we've got 2 bolts, one here and then one here, and then same thing here and here. That's going to disconnect the carb. So and I just more or less want to look at it to see how they look on that. So I will get them out and we'll go from there. So I didn't take them all the way out. I really didn't want to mess with the linkage, but the carbs look good. So I took the side off here and it looks really clean. The block that's in between this looks really clean. So I don't know that I need to take it out anymore and clean it because it's already clean. So I may just put it back together and just do the fuel lines and see what happens. Okay, I got all of them replaced on the carbs. So these are the inputs, and then you've got this cross one here that feeds between the two. So I've got my inlet here, and then on the other side is my return down here on my finger. So that's my return, and here's my inlet. So we'll get those. I'll probably get this one of them pulled out, and then we'll go from there. What I did notice though is right here we've got a junction on the return, but on the feeder one I don't see that, so that's kind of interesting. All right, well, we'll get going, keep going on them. So I got the fuel filter out, and boy was that a pain, because it's visible down in here, and I'll get the camera in, but if you see, I think I had some footage before, but there's that metal bracket right there. It bolts to that, but you don't have room to reach in to grab it once it's loose. So complete pain in the butt. This is the outflow, so that goes to the carburetors after the filter. I want to crack this open and look and see how bad that filter is, and I'm hoping I'm going to see a lot of junk in there, because if that's the case, I don't know that this is going to really do much. I did find some goo in the fuel line. I can show you what it looks like. It's kind of hard to tell. Come on, camera, focus. Now, yeah, there we go. You can see that goo. That's really the only piece I found it on. This little piece didn't have it, and none of the others really had it. So I'm a little concerned that doing these fuel lines isn't going to do what I'm hoping it will by fixing the engine from bogging down. So I'm gonna try and get this thing open here, and we'll take a look at the fuel filter. Well, it's a little gross. You got some crud down at the bottom, but if I look at the fuel filter itself, oh, it fell off. It doesn't look too bad other than having some stuff at the bottom. So I'm gonna clean it all up anyway, and we'll go from there. So next we're going to pull out the fuel selector switch. There's a little rubber grommet in here I just pulled off, and you can see there's a Phillips screw in there. So I'm just going to unscrew this and then see if we can't get this thing out to unbolt it, so we can just take it out to make it easier to get to the hoses. Okay, so I got the fuel selector back on. I didn't film it or anything. That was a complete pain in the butt getting it lined up, especially with the new hoses and stuff like that. So just to kind of show you what it looks like. Now it's really hard to see. not working well. Is that it? That must be it, yeah. Apologize for the light. It's pretty poor, but yeah, it is not easy to get in there. I've seen other YouTubers that have just left this on and said it was hard to get to, so I thought, well, I'll just take it out. And no, that didn't make a difference. So it was still hard, but it's back on. It's working. There is a keyway on underneath this where you screw this thing on. There is a keyway, so that lets you get it onto the right spot so your selector works. It also helps. I think this is keyed too, so this only goes on one way too. So at least I know that's back on correct. And the only fuel lines I have left is the overflow for pressure. And looking at them, they look clean. I'm just gonna put this back on and be done with it. I just don't see a lot of fuel going through this, and I'm not even gonna bother putting those or changing these out. So we'll get it all buttoned up and then we'll fire it up and see how we look. All right, we got it all back together now, except for that one line. And like I said, I just don't feel like I need to do that one because it's literally just a pressure relief and the line looked clean. So the only thing else I did not do was replace the fuel selector valve. But I didn't, like I said again, I didn't see a lot of buildup or that green goo in a lot of these fuel lines. Only really saw it in a small handful. So I'm going to take it out on lake tomorrow, and I'll wait to edit this video and post what my results were with it, if it made an improvement or if it didn't. If it didn't make an improvement, I think it's going to be probably the fuel pump, which I'll try and have to get done because I have plans for both my jet skis over Labor Day weekend, which is in a couple of weeks. So yeah, let me fire this thing up, make sure we got all the fuel and everything, no leaks, and we will go from there. All right, well, it started up, took a little bit because I didn't have the fuel primed to the carburetors, but we got it going. Ran it for a while. I can't tell. We'll have to see exactly what brings tomorrow at the lake, and I'll try and get some filming done. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I haven't had a lot of good success filming on the water yet. It's been kind of frustrating because that's how I wanted to do my cost breakdown of the goat ski. But let's just see what brings tomorrow. So, okay, so we got out on the water today like I said I would. I have my GoPro mounted to my life vest. I've tried this before and it's worked well. It's just keeping the water spots off the screen that I'm having the biggest challenge with. So I've heard people use Rain-X and all that stuff. We'll give it a go, but I'll try and keep the water off the lens as best as I can. As you can probably see, I'm on the yellow one. Goat skis up ahead. And we're out for a day on the lake. Let's see if this is working. All right. Didn't fix it. Totally didn't fix it. You just feel it bogging down. Oh, it's so frustrating. It seems a little better than it was. Doesn't make sense. Kind of frustrating, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I don't know how well the video on my GoPro is going to go, so I'll just kind of tell you what's going on. Sitting out here on the lake today, it's a beautiful day. Temperatures are not that warm, but they're not that cold either. So the fuel line replacement doesn't seem to have really, well, it's running a little better, but it's still got that top end issue. So I mean, that could go back to the rave valves. I took the rave valves out and I cleaned them. I didn't realize I had my GoPro sitting here. I cleaned them out. I didn't replace any of the gaskets or anything because everything looked like it was intact. But yeah, so I think the next thing is to replace the fuel pump, and I'll do another inspection on the rave valves, maybe replace some of the components within there because I just cleaned them up. So we're gonna go out and enjoy the rest of the day here on the lake. I've got some different footage and stuff, so I'll put that in the video here on it. But with that, I'll leave that. I'll say bye on this video, and as usual, thank you so much for watching. Really means a lot to me. I'm really still trying to grow this channel, and you know, maybe some XP 800 content is what helps it grow. These things seem to be rather popular on other channels and stuff like that. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. We'll have some other good stuff coming up. But other than that, everybody have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one.